Bella, this is not the time to make a scene in front of everyone.
A scene? You call your child standing here a scene?
Bella's voice echoed through the lavish wedding hall, freezing the entire room. Ethan stood stunned, eyes wide with panic as two little hands clutched their mother tightly. 5 years ago, he left her in a snowstorm, pregnant and broken. Today, she came back, not just to answer the past, but to change everything. I'm Isabella Carter. Before I share my story, tell me where you're watching from in the comments, hit like, and subscribe if you've ever overcome the impossible. Trust me, you'll want to hear what happens next. The pregnancy test trembled in my hand as snow hammered against our penthouse windows. 2 pink lines, clear as the Manhattan skyline stretching before me. My other hand clutched my phone, Ethan's message to someone named Serena burning into my retinas. Tonight we celebrate, darling. She's just dead weight now. Dead weight. 7 years of marriage reduced to 2 words. I heard his key in the lock. My husband entered, loosening his tie, champagne spots on his collar. The same collar I'd lovingly straightened this morning. We need to talk, I said, voice steadier than my hands. He barely glanced up. Can it wait? I'm exhausted. I'm pregnant. The tie slipped from his fingers. His face shifted through surprise, calculation, then something cold I'd never seen before. That complicates things. Complicates? The word tasted like ash. Ethan, we're having a baby. He poured himself whiskey, movements deliberate. You were good for my image, Bella. The pretty wife from nowhere. Proof I wasn't just another trust fund kid. But I need someone with real pedigree now. The IPO launches next month. Each word was a knife, but the prenup documents he pulled from his briefcase were the final twist. Sign these. You'll get a settlement. Get out! I clutched my stomach. I'm carrying your child. Children are liabilities in my world. He checked his Rolex. You have an hour to pack. The marble floor rushed up to meet me as everything went black. The last thing I remembered was snow swirling outside and a stranger's arms catching me as I collapsed on 5th Avenue. I woke to hospital fluorescence and a doctor's gentle smile. Ms. Carter, you're carrying twins, possibly triplets. We'll confirm next week. Twins. My hand found my belly as Ethan's lawyer entered, designer heels clicking. She placed a check on my bedside table. Mr. Cole is prepared to be generous. $100,000. Sign the NDA. I tore the check in half, then quarters. My children will know their worth, and it won't be written on a piece of paper. She left without another word. Maya, my best friend since college, became my lifeline. The Puerto Rican firecracker lawyer cleared her couch and held me while I sobbed. But charity stings when you've fallen from penthouses to pull-out beds. My corporate job vanished with a terse email. Recent personal circumstances make your position untenable. Translation, Ethan's reach was long. I interviewed everywhere, my growing belly a scarlet letter. We'll call you, they lied, eyes fixed on my midsection. One Tuesday, hunger and exhaustion dropped me on the F train platform. Strong hands caught me again. The same stranger from that snowy night. You need to eat, he said simply, pressing a 20 into my palm. Pride wanted to refuse. My babies made me take it. I'm Adrian, he said. Adrian Blackwood. I memorized his face, sharp jaw, kind eyes, before he disappeared into the crowd. That 20 bought formula later, I'd remember. My mother's calls from Texas hurt worst. I warned you about rich men, Isabella. Come home. But home meant admitting defeat. Home meant my children growing up in the shadow of my failure. No, Mama, I'll figure this out. With what money? With whose help? I stared at my twins on the ultrasound printout. With spite, if I have to. Labor came 6 weeks early. The public hospital's fluorescence flickered as I screamed, no hand to hold but the nurses. Twins, a boy and girl, tiny as promises in glass boxes. Maya brought me my phone, her face grim. You need to see this. Forbes magazine. Power couple alert. Ethan Cole marries heiress Serena Vale in private ceremony. They posed on a yacht, her family's billions glittering behind them like a taunt. I touched my babies through the NICU glass, Lucas and Emma, named for hope and strength, not their father. They'll never grow up thinking they were a mistake, I whispered. The NICU became my classroom. While machines beeped lullabies, I devoured online courses on digital marketing, business management, coding. My laptop balanced on my knees. I wrote business plans between feedings. Other mothers thought I was crazy. Maybe I was. But crazy was better than broken. 3 months in, a night nurse found me calculating market projections on napkins. What are you planning? She asked. If he thinks I'm nothing without him, I'll build something he can't even dream of. She smiled. That's the spirit, Mama. My education cost nothing but sleep. Khan Academy, Coursera, YouTube. The internet became my MBA program. I learned about renewable energy after reading an article about polymer technology. Something clicked. My chemistry degree from before Ethan wasn't dead weight after all. I drafted my first business proposal on Emma's discharge day, tears blurring the numbers. Not from sadness anymore, from possibility. That night, I made my vow. Ethan Cole, you'll choke on the day you underestimated me. 3 years blurred together. Diapers and spreadsheets, formula and freelance gigs. I built a reputation one small client at a time. My twins sleeping in a playpen beside my desk in our cramped apartment. Then Adrian Blackwood walked into a coffee shop where I was pitching to yet another skeptical investor. Miss Carter? His eyes held recognition. Still fighting, I see. My cheeks burned. The woman he'd helped was gone, replaced by someone harder. I don't need charity anymore. Good, because I need a business partner. Blackwood Energy, his clean technology company, was everything Ethan's fossil fuel empire wasn't. Adrian listened to my polymer battery storage idea like it was gospel. You're not asking for a job? He clarified. I'm asking for investment. $250,000 for 30% equity in Phoenix Innovations. He smiled. Why Phoenix? Because I already burned. Now I fly. The first design sketches happened at 3 a.m., Lucas teething on my shoulder. The logo, a bird rising from flames, took shape while Emma finger-painted beside me. Every line declared, we survived. But Ethan's shadow found us. A former colleague pulled me aside at a conference. He's watching you. Your name came up at Reynolds Group. He called you that unfortunate mistake. Let him watch, I said, but my hands shook signing the lease for our first real lab space. Success has a sound. The first successful battery test humming to life while my 4-year-olds cheered, Mommy did it. 27 investors rejected us. I kept every letter, fuel for the fire. The 28th yes came with a warning. Ethan Cole owns half this city. Be careful. Careful was for people with choices. Phoenix Innovations grew like my children. Fast, demanding, beautiful. We filed patents, hired engineers, caught attention. Too much attention. The sabotage started small. A break-in at our lab, nothing stolen but everything disturbed. Rumors in tech blogs. Did Carter steal Reynolds Group technology? Then Ethan himself appeared at an industry event, Serena glittering beside him. His eyes found mine across the room. He whispered something to a reporter who immediately approached me. Ms. Carter, care to comment on allegations you built Phoenix using proprietary Reynolds Group information? I built Phoenix using my brain and my baby's nap time. Print that. But the damage was done. 2 investors pulled out. My CFO quit. Adrian found me crying in the lab at midnight. Lucas and Emma asleep in their corner. He's trying to bury me before I can grow, I said. Then we grow faster. Adrian's hand covered mine on the prototype. I know people. Clean energy advocates who hate Reynolds Group more than you do. Nobody hates him more than me. Bet? That almost smile felt like betrayal to my anger. But Adrian had earned trust the way Ethan never had, through showing up. The meeting came through his lawyer. Ethan wanted to buy Phoenix Innovations. The number was insulting, barely more than debt coverage. I video called him from my lab, my children visible in the background. Generous offer, he said, not looking at the twins. You'll choke on the day you underestimated me. I hung up. That night, someone threw a brick through our apartment window. The note attached read, Know your place. I taped the window and taught my babies a new word. Unbreakable. 4 years after that hospital night, Phoenix Innovations valued at $1.5 billion. My polymer batteries powered green energy grids across 3 states. Tech magazines called me the comeback queen. I called myself mom first, CEO second. Adrian became more than a business partner. Slowly, carefully, like trust being rebuilt brick by brick. He taught Lucas to throw a baseball and helped Emma with her science fair project. He never pushed, never assumed. We were building something stronger than romance, respect. There's a government contract opening, he told me one evening. Biggest energy deal in decades. Let me guess who's bidding. Reynolds Group. His jaw tightened. Ethan's positioning to monopolize federal green energy contracts. If he wins, he'll lock out every independent company, including us. We strategized like generals. 3 Reynolds subsidiaries showed vulnerabilities, overleveraged, underperforming, ripe for acquisition. Adrian's connections plus my technology could flip them. $5 billion merger, I calculated. We'd need every ally. We have them, You've earned them. The plan took months. Secret meetings, careful negotiations, financial gymnastics that would make Wall Street dizzy, all while I maintained normalcy, school pickups, homework help, bedtime stories about brave phoenixes. The Miami Global Energy Summit approached. Ethan would announce his government bid there, cementing his dynasty. Unless I announced something first. You're really doing this? Maya asked, helping me pack. He took everything once. I won't let him take the future, from my children or anyone else's. Lucas hugged my waist. Mommy, are you going to win? What do phoenixes do, baby? They rise, Emma shouted. Yes, we rise. Miami's conference center gleamed like a promise. 10,000 industry leaders, live global broadcast, and Ethan Cole strutting through the lobby like he owned the future. He did own the morning agenda, until organizers made a last-minute change. Ladies and gentlemen, the MC announced, please welcome Isabella Carter, founder and CEO of Phoenix Innovations. I walked on stage in winter white, the color of that snowy night, reclaimed. But the gasps came when Lucas and Emma followed, their little hands in mine. My twins, my reasons, my strength. Cameras found Ethan's face draining pale. Serena's practiced smile cracked. 5 years ago, I began, steady as bedrock. Someone called me dead weight. Said children were liabilities. Today, my children watch me announce Phoenix Innovations' merger with Blackwood Energy and the acquisition of 3 Reynolds Group subsidiaries. The room erupted. Phones lit up with breaking news alerts. Our stock soared. Theirs plummeted 30% in minutes. This isn't about one company or one person, I continued. It's about building a world where no one's dreams get thrown out in the snow. Where children are assets, not liabilities. Where Phoenix companies rise from the ashes of broken promises. I looked directly at Ethan. Someone once told me I'd never belong in his world. He was right. So I built a better one, and he's no longer invited. Serena left before my speech ended. Ethan sat frozen, his empire's foundation cracking beneath him. Adrian waited in the wings, proud but not possessive. We'd built this together, but the victory was mine to claim. Mommy, Emma whispered into the microphone. Did we rise? Yeah, baby, we flew. The hotel suite was quiet after the chaos. My children slept tangled together, exhausted from their moment in history. My phone buzzed, Ethan calling. I let it ring, watching the city lights mirror stars. No victory dance? Adrian asked, bringing coffee. Victories aren't for dancing. They're for building on. We planned European expansion over lukewarm room service, but my mind kept drifting to a Texas ranch where my mother waited. 2 weeks later, I brought my children home. The woman who'd warned me about rich men held her grandchildren for the first time. You were right, Mama, I said, but I learned the hard way that being underestimated is the greatest weapon. She touched my face, work-worn hands gentle. You didn't just survive him, Mija. You became something he could never be. What's that? Unbreakable. That night, showing Lucas and Emma the stars from my childhood roof, I finally understood. This wasn't revenge. Revenge would have been destroying Ethan. Instead, I'd made him irrelevant. I'd built something that would outlast both of us. Opportunity for others, legacy for my children, hope for anyone told they were dead weight. My phone lit up with messages, job applications from single mothers, partnership proposals from women-led startups, interview requests titled How She Rose. Adrian texted, Brussels conference confirmed, ready to change the world? I looked at my sleeping children, then at the vast Texas sky where phoenixes might live among the stars. This isn't revenge, I whispered to the night. This is rebirth. And somewhere in Manhattan, a man who'd thought I was nothing discovered the weight of his mistake, but I no longer cared. I had risen too high to see him anymore. My children would know their worth, and it would be written in actions, not paper, in rising, not falling, in becoming phoenixes who soar above the ashes of what tried to burn them. The empire was built. Now came the legacy.
Never let someone else define your worth. The world may try to break you, but strength is born in the ashes. When life burns everything down, rise like a phoenix and show them your value is beyond measure.